Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe for crispy, savory cabbage pancakes, otherwise known as okonomiyaki. This recipe is a bit involved, not overwhelmingly complicated, and it's incredibly delicious. To start, you'll need cabbage, about half a small head's worth or 1/4 of a large head. Some mushrooms, I use King Trumpet, or you can use baby bella or button mushrooms as well. Green onion, vegetable broth, silken tofu. You need cooking oil, flour, and a 1/3 or 1/4 measuring cup, and baking powder with a teaspoon. And for topping, there are options. I own and use okonomiyaki sauce and vegan mayo, as well as avocado and sesame seaweed seasoning. You can use thick teriyaki sauce, Asian barbecue sauce, and similar things for the main flavoring. And you can use any variety of flavor topping that you think goes well. Perhaps herbs, kimchi, crispy shallots, even crushed up potato chips. Other fun things would work well. The cabbage, green onion, and mushrooms should be rinsed. I throw out the bottom part of the mushroom stalk as it's a bit chewy, but this is optional. The mushrooms add a lot of umami and richness to this dish, so we start off by chopping them so they can sauté. I chop them into pretty small pieces. Big pieces stand out and make some bites a bit chewy, so I think smaller is better here. They blend into the batter and spread out their deliciousness more effectively that way. Preheat a skillet to medium-low, add some oil, and put in the mushrooms to sauté for 7 to 9 minutes. The goal is to work out some of their water and make them just a bit golden. Add a medium pour of salt to them to help coax out water and to give them some flavor, and then stir thoroughly. Stir them every 2 to 3 minutes until done. I chop the cabbage while the mushrooms are cooking, first removing the thick stalk triangle area at the bottom. I leave the cabbage a little bigger than the mushrooms because they provide a satisfying crunchiness in the pancake, but they do need to be small enough to form a pancake batter around them and ball up. Set the cut pieces into the big mixing bowl. I then remove the tops and bottoms from the green onions and chop them into small bits that can blend into the pancake and provide flavor all around, setting them into the bowl as well. The mushrooms have been sauteing for 8 or 9 minutes, and they've taken on a bit of color. Pour them into the mixing bowl. Now we start on our batter. I use 1/3 of a package of silken tofu and mash it thoroughly with a fork. This is the main binder in our batter. Hey, that's fun to say. Binder in our batter. Once the tofu is thoroughly mashed, I add in about 2/3 of a cup of vegetable broth and mix that in. This is the wet ingredient mixture that will absorb flour later. Now add in 1/3 of a cup of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and stir. Once this is fully stirred, mix your vegetables, and then pour the batter over them. Then mix so the batter is thoroughly spread. This is not done. This mixture is currently much too thin and won't form a pancake-like consistency at all. Now we have to add more flour, working it in over time until we reach the right texture. That's what I'm doing here, adding 1/3 cup of flour, stirring, and checking the texture. This has to be an iterative process. You can't add all the flour at the onset or else the vegetables won't mix in at all. So you keep going like this, adding about 1/3 cup of flour and stirring until the mixture is thick enough to clump up a bit and stick to the spoon. You may also have to add a bit of vegetable broth as your batter gets too dry. Remember that this is kind of like a pancake, and it has to have a substantial amount of strong batter to stick together and fry up crispy. I think my batter is done here, but it's not. I'm showing you an example of how I cut my mixture off too soon, started frying, and, well, listen in. Fail. Total fail. It just fell apart. It needs more batter. After this mistake, I come back and add more broth and flour and stir. This time the mixture is thick enough and sticks to my spoon in a satisfying way. This is really pan fry ready. Once your mixture is done, wipe out your skillet to remove moisture from the mushrooms. Turn your skillet to medium-low and let it preheat for a few minutes. Then add oil and stir that around. Now start spooning some batter onto the middle of your preheated and oiled skillet. Keep spooning until you have a medium thickness pancake of average diameter. Push the spoon onto the pancake as you scoop, pressing the pieces together so they stick and form a uniform object for easier flipping later. I'm showing the full scooping and pressing process for this first pancake. After 5 minutes on medium-low, I add oil to the top of the pancake, and I give it a confident flip. Hesitation is the enemy of a good pancake flip, and it may take some practice to get this down. I still get pretty excited when a flip goes well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah! There we go. There we go. Perfect.
After another 5 minutes, the pancake is done. I pull it off the eye and onto a plate. Now to set up your skillet for the next pancake, scrape your pan clean and push the leftover bits to the edge of the skillet so they don't burn. Then add more oil, grab your batter, and go again. I'm going to show you how I top my pancakes now, but know that there is plenty more batter to cook up. I usually eat these as I make them because they're so delicious while hot out of the pan. You can also keep them warm in your oven set on low and serve them all at once. I start off by spreading some vegan mayo on top. You can use as little or as much as you like. I then pour on some okonomiyaki sauce. Again, you can use whatever sauce you like and however much you like as well. I then add some sliced avocado and a shake of seaweed sesame mix. I like mine to be really flavorful with the toppings, and you can customize and get creative to your heart's desire. To me, this looks amazing. And for the taste test,
Oh yeah,
So good.
this is what I was looking for. This is the high I was chasing.
and like I said, I usually eat these as I'm cooking because I can hardly wait. So there's more cooking to be done. Scraping, oiling, battering, pressing, waiting, oiling, flipping, waiting, and pulling. I had okonomiyaki for the first time a few years ago, and I totally fell in love with it. This vegan version is every bit as good as the meat and seafood containing versions I had back then. I have a lot of fun making this recipe. I do it alone sometimes, but it is a bit easier with a partner helping you get timing right on the mushrooms and the skillet and things like that. So I thank my lovely girlfriend for her help in this video. Your reward? This delicious meal. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Also leave a comment below describing your experience with this recipe or what you want to see next.